We have in the studio lawyer and co-founder of Agro and Integrated Services, Fatima Karim. All right, thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, quickly talk to us what it means for a woman. We're looking at empowering women and what it means for a woman to be empowered.
Well, empowering women has to, first of all, start with the mindset that a woman has to start from the empowerment of the mind that she can do it, you know. It's difficult to empower someone when he or she doesn't even have the mind or the mindset that he or she is able to match up with whatever the man is doing. And this comes to play in different ways. When you look at it from the grassroots level, you also look at it from some specific businesses as well that is male dominated. So it all starts from the mind that I can do this as an entrepreneur. I can break into any field as a woman. This for me is where it all starts from. Now after that, a woman has to be able to now look for knowledge, because knowledge is a form of empowerment as well. Yeah. So when we're talking about empowerment, it's not just about, you know, the financial aspect. It's all about every other thing that goes into place before the money comes in. And which, as I've stated earlier, starts with the mind, then with the knowledge. You know, the knowledge to be empowered. You know, how do you want to be empowered as a woman? What skill do you want to sell as a woman? What offerings do you have as a woman that can be monetized? So as a woman, empowerment starts with the mind, as I've stated earlier. Yeah, right. Then, of course, the knowledge.
Seeking the knowledge.
Then, the next step is alliances. As a woman, you need support. You're an entrepreneur. Yeah. So you need to begin to have alliances with people from different sectors or sections of the society. And even if you're not a social person, like I'm not really a social person, like I'm not someone who has a lot of physical friends, but I've been able to use digital media effectively to build strong connections and network that has helped me in my business. So basically, I think that is what it really means to be empowered.
Okay, so we'll come to you quite shortly, but we have joining us via Skype from Bonny Island, River State, is a gender advocate, Tessie Biobaku. Thank you very much, Tessie, for joining us. Now, we have Karim Fatima talking to us on empowerment, and she mentioned that empowering a woman starts with the mind, the mindset and the will of the person, the woman in question, to want to succeed. Now, what do you think is a way of empowering the woman?
Well, good morning. There's a lot of ways to empower women. We must look at the educational sector. If women are educated, definitely they will be able to have knowledge of what to do, and that's part of an incentive for them to be empowered. We must also look at the fact that a lot of women are generally marginalized, but we must navigate from that perspective and look at the fact that we can rise above that by our self-worth. You must have a self-will to know that yes, you can succeed in whatever area of entrepreneurship that you want to go into.
All right, back to the studio now with Fatima. The talk about us being a patriarchal society, so to speak. How have you been able to navigate this route to achieve what you've been able to achieve so far?
Well, I love to even say that as a woman, I'm favored. Yes, I love to look at it that way because, like I said, the mindset is really very important. It's very key to success. So I don't like to focus on the negative narratives out there because there are also a lot of positive narratives. A lot of people, particularly these days of group economics and collaborative funding and all the likes, it's an advantage to you as a woman because a lot of people trust you more as a woman, as a female entrepreneur. People tend to, you know, want to appreciate the fact that you're coming out of the norm and want to do something, you know.
Really?
Yeah. So people, that's from my personal experience, you know. So people want to trust you. They want to give you certain advantages and privileges. probably because, although some may look at it as, oh, you're looking as a disadvantage in a way, because they are looking like, oh, you're a woman, you can do this. Why some will say, why can't I do this because I'm a woman? You know, there are two narratives to this. But basically, as a woman, from my own personal experience, people are more willing to trust me with their funds to manage for them because they see me that probably women do not.
But that might not be the story of some other persons.
Some other persons, yes.
Yes, it might not be this.
All right, so Tessie, if you're listening right at this point, now you mentioned something about education and the culture in the society of a cultural mindset about the woman. And so how do we deviate from this norm? Because like Karim, Fatima is here is saying that women get given opportunities because they are getting out of the norm. But we see that it's not in every climb. Like in Nigeria, there's the cultural mindset that comes with empowerment of women. How do we move from there?
Well, I think there's a lot of exposure right now. We talking about it is also part of the awareness to change from that, to move from that narrative, to change the norm. I believe that we can, as women, collectively come together. We have a lot of awareness going on. I mean, we have a platform, a WIMBY platform that said is like a catalyst that try to build women up in terms of their skills for business.
All right, Tessie Biobaku, we have to leave it at this point. Thank you for joining us, and Fatima Karim, thank you for speaking with us.
You're welcome.
Well, we have in the studio lawyer and co-founder of Agro and Integrated Services, Fatima Karim. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we also have joining us via Skype from Bonny Island, Rivers State, is a gender advocate, Tessie Biobaku. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on board.
Now, we've been talking about women empowerment, and I would like to start with you, Tessie. There is almost this saying that women do not like to support one another, and so issues about women supporting women perhaps is lip service. Now, how do we change this narrative totally, especially looking at the aspect of we are in a patriarchal society, women need to encourage one another?
Yes, women need to encourage one another. But then with the narrative with regards to women not supporting each other is really changing now. We're coming to realize, as women, we're coming to realize we need each other's support. There's no way you can succeed in isolation. And I know that with much awareness, a lot of women have come to that terms. And with that, you're seeing a lot of successful women entrepreneurs and women in business.
Well, how is it changing when, let me give you an example now, in the political sphere, women come out for political offices, but we see that women do not vote for these women into power. So how is it changing?
Well, I think psychologically, we must look beyond seeing ourselves as being not enough. Most times psychologically, funny enough, we help the men to succeed, but we see ourselves as saying we must be the one behind. But it's high time as women we come to realize that we can be out there, we can be great leaders. Women can come out to be president of this country, and then the country would thrive in a way that nobody even would think. So it's high time that psychologically we create more awareness to let women, especially the girl child, to grow up confidently to know that I can stand out. I'm more than enough. I am unique in my own way and I can lead. And with that, I think a lot of the narrative in regards to probably women not supporting each other would come to, we'll be able to take care of all that.
All right, let's turn our attention now to Fatima Karim in the studio. You've been following the conversation, especially with regards to women supporting women and the need, because we've always seen the challenge when it comes to girl child education. Now, how important is it for women like you now to begin to, beam this light of the need for people to be empowered, especially on the girl child? How important is that aspect?
More than ever before now, the empowerment of the girl child is really very important and crucial. Even starting from the role play or the responsibilities given to the girl child in respect to before getting married, having kids. You know, there's this general breakdown of the marriage system. And more than ever before, the girl child is feeling she's more than just being a housewife. More than ever before, there is this sensitization going on, probably from the narratives they've heard from their parents or people outside there. They know that they need to be more.
So are you saying we have achieved so much and we should leave it at this point?
No, 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 definitely. There is always room for more. I'm just saying that the mindset has changed. You know, more than ever before, we see that more women want to have a career, a job, a profession, and income before getting married. More than ever before, women are no longer comfortable to wait for the man to bring in the income, even at the grassroots level. More than ever before, women are now getting involved with carrying out.
Some might say that the economic situation is also forcing people to, you know, look into that.
That is the whole. That is why I said more than ever before, because there are several factors.
It's not necessarily the women being aware now. Perhaps the economic
the economic factor is making the woman. It's still all about awareness, irrespective of where it's coming from. Yes, the economic situation might make you aware of your person, like I can do more, but now you're aware. The most important thing is you're aware. You're aware that you can be more, and you know there's this competition. Will I call it competition, or we're looking at each other? You know, someone is saying, "Yo, Fatima, like I have a women group, and I know they tell me they give me feedbacks like you've been able to help me come out of my shell. I've been able to do this. I've been able to do that." So we're looking at each other. There are certain women I look out to in the society, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm modeling.
Yes, you're modeling yourself, you know, around what you see around them.
So the more active we become, the more we have more models for the younger ones.
We must leave it here at this point. Fatima Karim, thank you. And we must also thank you so much, Tessie Biobaku, for your time on The Breakfast Show.
Sky from Bonny Island, River State, is a gender advocate, Tessie Biobaku. Thank you very much, Tessie, for joining us. Now, there's always this talk about empowering women, and we see that in as much as there's some level of progress that has been recorded, it's still quite little compared to the future that everyone looks up to. How do we ensure, first of all, what is the place of the government in ensuring that women's empowerment is given more premium?
The government, I must applaud that the government are trying, but there's room for them to try more. With regards to government involvement, there's basically a lot. I also bring it back to the girl child, because the girl child is one that develops to be the woman. We must create an enabling environment, especially education-wise, for the girl child. The government should be able to put in place more empowerment for the teachers in school, seasoned teachers that will be able to guide the girl child to become a phenomenal business entrepreneur in the future. Then also the government should be able to put in place a lot of vocational skills. It's not, yes, we all want to be lawyers, we all want to be doctors, but it's not everybody that is going to be caught up with corporate business. Some are caught up with selling, buying and selling, and if the skills for these children are developed early in life, then they will be able to harness these skills to become better in the future.
You say early in life. At what age do we begin to talk about issues of girl-child empowerment? What level?
The primary school. We've gotten to a point that the world we live now, there's a lot of awareness. Primary school, we need a lot of counselors, seasoned counselors, mentorship for these children. We need to grab them at early stage now.
All right, thank you very much, Tessie, for talking to us this morning on this. Thank you so much.